is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Ebenezer, this is how far you have brought us. Father, we can't complain. We just want to say thank you. We are still treating our 23 of Psalms, which is Psalm 23, and we are on verse 4. And I read Psalm 23, verse 4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. At this point, David was realizing or is realizing how far God has brought him, where God saw him at his lowest and where he is taking him. So he was just pondering over it, and he was just full of gratitude. His heart was full of gratitude, and he was just saying, adoring, worshiping God for who he is. When I was reading this, I went back to worship, and I'm like, Lord, if by any means I have not said thank you, please forgive me. I want to show a heart full of gratitude for where you have taken me, like from how far you have brought me, because this is not me before. This is not who I used to be before. But this is how far you have brought me. Even though I don't know where you are taking me, but at least I am grateful. David brought me to that level of worship to say thank you to God from where he picked me up from and where he is taking me. I started saying thank you. David said that, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, because he knew that before he was in total darkness, but now he can see himself resting because God is with him. Before he used to be in deep sin, but now because the rod is guiding, the rod is shaping him. Now he is not scared anymore of anything that will come his way. Now he doesn't fear anything because the sin that he was in was telling him otherwise. He felt otherwise. But now that he is with the shepherd, but now that the shepherd is leading him, he is not scared. He doesn't fear any shadow that will come around him. So he started saying, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. Because now he is realizing that darkness cannot comprehend him, the light. Darkness cannot take over the shepherd that is leading him. Because he is realizing that, oh, you are the light unto my path. I will fear no evil. Because no evil will come during the day. It is only in darkness that we realize them. Yes, we can recognize them. So David is saying that even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, Lord, now I am not scared because you are with me, because your right hand that holds the staff is the one that protects me. So now I don't fear anything. God was not done with David. Because there is more to come. If I have to say it that way, there is more to come. But at least he is showing a heart full of gratitude. He is showing some form of gratitude, an act of gratitude to tell God that, Lord, I don't know where you are taking me, but all I know is that how far you have brought me and how I used to be and how I am or who I am right now. There is a difference. There is a difference in my life. So now I am not fear. Now, you see, I trusted you with my life, and where you are taking me seems to be the right way. So now I am not scared of anything that comes my way because my confidence is built in you. David started worshiping. Some of us for all the things that God has done for us, we are still not grateful. We are still not content with what we have. What is tomorrow if we don't show gratitude today? What is tomorrow if we don't appreciate what we have today? Do you even know what is going to happen the next day? Do you even know? You don't know. Can you be grateful for 1 second and say that, Lord, thank you, even though I don't have it all together, but I trust you. I don't have it, oh Lord, but I trust you where you are taking me. David worshiped. David adored. He was in awe of God. Some of us, it's like anything that God does for us. We still want more, like now. Yet you haven't even said thank you to him. Can you be grateful for 1 minute? Can you be grateful for 2 minutes? Can you be grateful for where you are right now? Because that is all that matters. Do you even know what is coming your way tomorrow? You don't know. David said that, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I know your right hand, which is the power. I know your right hand, which is strength. I know your right hand, which, guys, I know that it will defend me before I even get there. It will defend me. If we see God to be the bigger picture in our situation and we see ourselves to be the shadow, then we will know that God is mightier than whatever that we are going through. You see, one thing with shadow, you cannot control shadow. You cannot. So when you see yourself as the shadow, and then when you see God, because when God moves, that's when the shadow will also move. So he is the one that is controlling the shadow, but not you. So when you walk through the valley of the shadow, know that he is mighty. Do you get what I'm trying to say? If you see yourself to be the shadow, and you see God to be the bigger picture, then you will know that under the shadow of the Almighty, I find peace. Under the shadow of the Almighty, I found shelter. Under the shadow of the Almighty, I don't have to worry about anything. God is mighty. Be grateful for today. David did not see whatever that is happening before him because God was before David. So David was behind God. If you are behind me, what can you see what I'm doing? So he was not worried about anything. He was not worried about anything because he knew that God is before him. So whatever evil that comes his way, God will defend him. Whatever that evil comes before him, God will protect him with his right hand. Whatever that will come before him. So David says that, oh Lord, I don't know, but at least let me be grateful, because when I look at my life, it is not how it used to be. When I look at my life, it is not how where you pick me up from. When I look at my life, Lord, at least it is better than before. So for now, let me just, oh Lord, gather all of them and say thank you, even though I know that you are not done with me, even though I know that you have more for me, even though I know that what you have for me, I cannot even have the hands to contain it. At least I am grateful. At least I want to say thank you. Can you be in the act of worship? Can you be in the act of worship? Let your heart show an act of gratitude. Can you show an act of gratitude? Let your heart speak for you. When you ponder about the goodness of God, when it was so tough with you, when it was so hard, when things were not working, but since He stepped in, at least You are not where you have timed yourself to be, but at least he's taking you. Allow him to work in his own time. Allow him. When you allow him to work in his own time, he will make all things beautiful that will marvel you. Allow him to work in his own time. Not the time that you have timed yourself. You have put yourself in a box. That is why you think that it is not possible. That is why you think that it cannot be. Allow him to work in his own time. Allow him to lead you. Allow him to take the step for you to follow. That is when he will make things beautiful for you that will marvel you. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for you are with me. If you see him to be the bigger picture, and you seeing yourself to be the shadow, then you will know that, oh, even though this sickness comes my way, but Lord, you are bigger than my sickness. Even though I'm in hardship right now, but Lord, you are bigger than the hardship that I'm going through. If you can see him as such, if you can be grateful, if you can worship him, the act of worship, if you can worship him, he will also show up. He will show up because he knows the way more than you do. Yes, where he is leading you. You are not the first one. Yet, you are just started with him. Allow him. Allow him. David worshiped, an act of worship. He showed some form of gratitude. He said that, Lord, I am not worried about anything right now because now I can see the difference. So now I am not worried about anything. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil. That is the level David was. God was not done with him. And you will find out as we go along with the rest of the verses that is left. You will know that God was not done with him yet. But David was grateful for how far God has brought him. Can you be grateful for today? Because if there is no today, there is no tomorrow. So be grateful for what you have today and let God do the rest for tomorrow. I leave you with this. Fear no evil, for he is the light unto our path. Fear no evil. God is with you. Be grateful for what he has done for you now. And he will do more. God bless you.